Okay, so this is latest 247. So something is happening right now, which is the fact that this protest that people want to go on, it has been picking momentum now for some time, and it's looking like it's going to be a very, very big protest. Of course, they said it's going to be on the 1st of October, or rather 1st of August. So everyone is preparing for that day to come out and protest. And it's very obvious that the government is very, very afraid of what is going to happen. I mean, if you look at what has happened in Kenya, what has happened in Uganda, and other places that people have protested, and of course, what happened back in 2020 during the NSAS protests, I think the government is very scared that this protest might actually get to a point whereby they might not really be able to control it per se, so they're afraid. And given the way things are going, the fact that people are actually very, very angry. I mean, this is not a case whereby I say maybe some people are angry, some are not. Like everyone is angry. The only people you will see that are not angry are those that have received money. Maybe those that are connected to the government in one way or the other, like those that hold positions in power, positions in politics. Those are people you see, and that is why the government has been going around. The president has gone through the local leaders, the obas, the chief, the igwes, the market women, the people that they can get to. They have gotten to all of them, the security agents, and all of them are issuing notices, issuing statements, and saying people should not protest. So it's understandable that those people will issue those statements, even though they themselves are not happy with what is happening. But because they have an allegiance to the president, to the government, because if they don't comply with what the government wants, either if you are a traditional ruler, you can be removed. If you're a market leader, you can be removed. If you're a minister, you are senate, you can be removed. So those guys don't really have a say. A lot of them they have only collected money to some extent. Maybe they were supported during politics, they were endorsed and all of that. So it is difficult for them to go contrary to what the president wants. So we understand that. So, but that is not to say that even though they are in their household, they are not happy with what is happening, because this is touching everybody. The market women, everybody there, everybody is complaining. Those working regular job, of course, they say they increase the minimum wage to 70,000, but we all know that that is not going to get to everybody. Federal government can pay, with state governments pay, and okay, is it everybody that's even working in the government? A lot of people are doing private jobs. Jobs are paying 10,000, 15,000 naira, still right there in the streets. So the 70,000 naira minimum wage is not going to affect, it's not going to reach everybody. So at the end of the day, they might think they've done a lot, but it's not reaching everybody. And there's this thing that government has consistently done, which is giving food, saying they are giving food, they gave rice, they gave. How can you feed people for one day and say you fed them? Who is going to feed them the next day? So it's difficult for government. I think the government doesn't have a clue of how to control this, but look at what this guy is doing right now. Very dark man. This guy has been vocal. This guy you are seeing his picture right now, he has been vocal about it, and he's becoming a very, very strong figure in Nigeria. Of course, not just becoming, he's a strong figure now in Nigeria in terms of activism, in terms of, trying to stop corruption and the rest of that. So he has also supported the protest. It'd be like he's going to protest. He has activated himself saying he's going to protest, and everyone has known that. But I also think he's smart. Of course, we are planning that the protest is going to be on the first, from the 1st of August. But this guy has already gone out today to start protesting. Now, I think he's trying to get a backup for himself. If you know how, I think this guy is getting good advice. So far, I think he's getting good advice, because he has gone out before the day to go and start protesting. So it might get to a point where he will get to, if it becomes very difficult to come out on that day, he might not really come out, but he'll be like, oh, I've been protesting before this day. So it will be difficult to fault him. However, the guy has also come to say something. He posted something on his Instagram handle talking about that if we hear anything about him, they say he has a lot of money in his account that is not traceable, or that he had a forceful entry of a woman, all those little accusations that might make him to be detained, that we should all know that is a lie. So when I heard that, I'd be like, okay, it's like something is beginning to happen in the background. Maybe he's beginning to get information that they're trying to frame him. Maybe they want to frame him so that he will go down, because they know that people are listening to this guy. Even though a lot of people hate him because he has called a lot of influencers out, those are selling fake drugs, fake skincare products, he calls them out, he doesn't care. And those that have embezzled people money, calls them out and they refund. So he has some people that hate him, but a lot of people like him, so a lot of people listen to him. So it's understandable if the government or the law enforcement, they are planning to, have a reason to detain him. I think he must have heard that from someone, from an insider, that told him they are trying to frame him up. So he's now saying, okay, if they come out tomorrow and say they saw an untraceable amount, over 10 million in his account, that is a lie, because he hasn't received that kind of money in his life. And if they said he had a forceful entry, that he raped a girl, it's a lie. He hasn't done that, and he won't do that. Giving all those excuses, and I think this is just to place a notice so that people will know that, okay, this kind of thing can happen. So when it happens, they will know that, oh, this is a hit job. They're trying to frame him up so that they can take him and lock him up. So hopefully it's going to kind of calm and not promote the protest very well. But I think the guy is also smart. If you listen to him, the video he posted even recently, a lot of things he's talking about, he's trying to use the word alleged. Like when he wants to say the government did this, he'll say the government allegedly did this. The government allegedly did this. I think he has been advised. However, if you see his protest poster, from what you can see, I don't know if you can see it very well, he's also very careful. He's not being too direct. He's not being too insulting. He's still being respectful. And this is what I think that a lot of people don't know. A lot of influencers are not as smart as this guy, because a lot of people will just open their mouth, wow, and start abusing the government. Start saying they will do this and they will do that. I saw one video that was posted by a very dark man as well, of a guy in Jos, talking about when they come out on that day, they should go and burn the market. They didn't respond, they can attack, go to bakeries, burn the bakeries. If they kill one of them, they can burn police station, burn army units. And I say, does this guy even know what he's talking about? This is not even a video without his face. His face is right there. He's saying they should do this, they should do this. And I feel like this one is just more like a moron, because he's just giving the law enforcement license to arrest him. He can be arrested and thrown into jail and forgotten. And people are saying maybe they've paid the guy, so that they are the kind of people that people should look out for. So on the protest day, you look out for those that have the knack, those that want to commit act of violence, and separate yourself from them. And like this guy's advice also, very dark man, that on that day, if you come out to protest, once it's around 3 or 4, start going to your house. Don't stay till night. Because some people are going to eventually want to use it to cause mayhem. We know that people are actually angry. And there's no amount of thing you will say or do that will make people, that when they come out, that protest might not turn violent. People are angry, people are hungry. So once they enter the street, it's going to be mayhem. That is something I can assume. That's an assumption that everyone can easily make. Because when people are passing and they see stores that are selling food or selling food items, there's likelihood that they will boggle those stores. There's likelihood that they will attack any place they think they can get something, because people are hungry and they are angry and they don't have money. So some people will not come out for the protest because they really want to protest, so that the fuel price will be reduced, or so that minimum wage will be increased, or so that food prices will go down. No. They are coming out to pick something. They are coming out to steal. They are coming out to boggle. So I think that people that the law enforcement should actually be waiting for, and not just trying to stop those that want to protest. Because since people are already making up their mind to protest, I think the best thing they can do is to provide law enforcement to be around to make sure that things don't go haywire. Because it's going to be risky if the government is doing all they are doing now to stop this protest. If eventually the protest is for store, Lagos is saying they are going to bring out Oro. And when they bring out Oro, they will expect nobody to be in the streets, because it's a spiritual practice. So if they do all these things they are trying to do, using the Oba of Benin, using the governors, the market leaders, and everybody, if this protest eventually gets stopped, it's going to be a very dangerous thing for the government, because eventually it will still happen, but then it will happen at a point and time that the government will not know. So they will not be able to predict when it's going to happen. But right now that they know when it's going to happen, it has been announced, everyone knows. I think it's to the benefit of the government to just make preparation for law enforcement to ensure that there's no breakdown of law and order. But if they do what they are doing right now and they discourage people from doing it, eventually one day, people are just going to enter the streets without warning. And by then, it's going to overwhelm the security agents. And very dark man also called out the daughter of Tinubu, which is the one that's supposed to be the Yaloja. because the Benin women are saying, oh, she's trying to enforce someone on them, someone to come and take over their market so that they'll be answerable to her, and they have refused. And it's understandable because these women have been there for years. Certainly someone is coming out to take over because Tinubu is not the president. And we've heard story about the Yaloja, the woman, how she's able to control all the markets and all the taxes and everything is going to her. I think this, this is more like what they say, the state capture. They're trying to capture all the states, and it's very, very bad. The Dangote thing, a lot of things I've heard and read about the Dangote issue is, it's mind-boggling. I can't even put it down in a podcast like this, but maybe I'll do a podcast. I'll talk something about that. I'll talk about that, but it's going to show you the extent at which the government is going to make sure that they capture every arm. So even if this man goes out of government tomorrow, even if he retires, resigns, or doesn't win the next election, his family is set for life. In terms of petrol importation, refinery, in terms of monetary policies, in terms of market, in terms of taxes, in terms of VAT, in terms of everything, he has secured everywhere with his own people. His own government and his own companies and proxy companies. His children are heading different companies that are controlling different things in the country. So this country is basically in the arms of the current president, Tinubu. So let's watch out. I'll keep you guys updated on the protest issue. Thank you.